To be here moving forward, it's just state of the art and just exemplifies the commitment to the St. Louis Blues by the community and our ownership group.
All things being equal, can what's that?
I gotta get my mic turned on. Sorry.
All things being equal, can this help recruit players in free agency or no?
Oh, definitely. When I first got here, the recruiting period, you'd be nervous bringing players into St. Louis. It was 110 degrees out. The Scott Trade locker room wasn't that great, and the Mills wasn't either. So now, the work that they've done down at Enterprise Center, that locker room is state of the art. Bringing players out here is phenomenal to give them a look around. So this is certainly a great recruiting tool for us.
Doug, Foley was on the camp roster that we got before camp, but he's not here. What's his status with the concussion issues?
Yeah, it certainly doesn't look good for him. He got hurt last year in training camp in Traverse City, a concussion, and hasn't felt well ever since. So he came in to take the medical, and unfortunately he failed it. It's just a slow process, and he's going to continue to work, but there's no actually light at the end of the tunnel right now for it.
And some of the other guys like a Kyrou or Robert Thomas.
Yeah, they're battling coming off of summer surgeries. Both guys, they're not going to be in the first two groups, but they'll be on the third group today, and we'll slowly get them into competition with the other players. What we're trying to do is just be smart with them and not penny wise, pound foolish, and we think they'll both be ready for certainly the start of the season. That's the plan going in at least, but we want to be smart.
Tarasenko good to go after his surgery?
Yeah, he looked really good. Had a great summer of training. Really committed to making sure his body was healthy after a short summer, and looks good and ready to go.
And you had a couple prospects that got hurt up in Traverse City. Any updates on Alexandrov and Kaspic?
Kaspic got a concussion there, and is right now he's feeling a little bit better every day, doing some light exercise. The other player injured his shoulder and is just sort of day to day. Again, we don't want to rush him. He just drafted last year, and we want to make sure that we're smart. He's going to go back to junior at some point, and we just want to get him as healthy as possible.
How do you approach? You've got obviously everybody back from last year and shorter off season. How do you approach the practices here in the preseason in terms of maybe how much you play the veterans?
Well, that's something that Craig and I have talked about. We want to make sure that the players are ready for opening night. We've added an 8th game this year, the craft game, which is a little bit different for us. We usually try and get 7 in. So, adding that game and then going on and playing deep into the spring, it shortened everything up. We'll have a big camp longer than previous years, just because we're going to want to make sure we have enough bodies to get through those games without taxing guys. But we have to get ready for opening night. It's coming very quickly, and Craig will work with his staff and talk to the players, the veteran players, on the number of games they feel that are necessary.
You mean a big camp in terms of the number of players you keep?
Yeah, usually you'll cut down after the first week to a smaller number, usually 28 to 30. I don't see us cutting down that quick just because of the extra games.
With your roster, do you see yourself going forward, same physical style? You don't have Maroon, but you have some younger guys that can muscle up a bit.
Yeah, I think that our team is built a certain way, and I don't think that's going to change. I don't think Craig's coaching philosophy is going to change. We want to play quick, we want to play heavy, and we want to play in the offensive zone. That's the way we're built. We do have some faster players in our group, but still, you don't stretch a lot from your identities.
Obviously, you have some contracts come up, soon, Petrangelo and Shen, but we see it year after year. Teams want to stay in the cup. They've got a bunch of unrestricted. Just can't bring everybody back. There's so much turnover. What was that luxury like this summer to not have to deal with, so many big pay raises for guys like that?
Well, it's nice to have guys signed up, and when you have guys on term, that's why we talked last year at this time. We felt we were entering a window of, potentially 5 years, knowing that at least for the first 2 years, everyone was going to be back, and that's the case except for Patty. And then next year we'll have to adjust to the players that are here. But again, even next summer, there's not a huge glut of players, and we have younger players coming that are going to push for jobs.
Any timetable for Petro and Shen as to when you like to explore things or get things done, or have you even talked with them at all?
Yeah, I think it's easy to talk to about now, and I talked to both the players personally about our desire. We'd love to have them here. Both players, they'll have to confirm that. You guys confirm that I think they want to be here. But you know, the way I look at this is that to get a deal done, both sides have to be comfortably uncomfortable. If only one of us is comfortable and the other one's uncomfortable, the deal won't get done. I've been doing this for a long time, and I understand how it works. But I don't get too hung up on it. The league moves on, and both those guys are going to be playing in the NHL next year, and the St. Louis Blues are going to have a team next year. And hopefully we're all together, but we'll just let that play itself out. I don't put any timelines on it, like we won't stop negotiating or talking at a certain point. What we will do though is stop talking to you guys about it.
We figured that much, but
Yeah,
you
so
you have done some deals in season, so.
Yeah, as I said, I don't see why you can't have conversations. These are adults or grown men. They can multitask, and most of the discussions are with the representatives anyway. So what we're going to do is this will be the last time I'm going to talk about that until either we're having a press conference that they signed, or we're talking next July that they sign somewhere else. That's just the nature of the game, and I don't think you can get too hung up on that. There's no good or bad people in these things. It's just a business.
Doug, in your past experiences, though, is the sooner the better if you get something done there, or I mean, does it get tougher as it goes on?
Well, the dynamics change. Right now, if we get off to a great start and these guys are having their best years ever, of course the economics go up. If the reverse happens also. So right now, we know the ground rules. They change as the season goes along, with good, bad play, health, injuries. All those things factor into what decisions you make moving forward.
For guys like Renke and Mikola who are there, but you got 7 defensemen coming back from last year. What's this camp mean for them?
Well, if you look at the same 7 guys, 2 of them didn't play for the first month of the season. Mm-hmm. Injuries happen in our game, so they have to work. What they have to do is make sure they're the first name called up, or the first name ready to play, whether they never get sent down. As I said, Bo didn't get up and running. Gunny didn't get up and running last year for a while, so we're hoping everybody stays healthy. But they, bringing in experienced players like they did on the back end, there's going to be good competition for pecking order, and their job is to make sure that the top of it.
We had a lot of UFAs to bring back. A lot of things, a lot of variables involved. What was it like putting that resolution?
That was relatively easy, just because arbitration. So you know that they're going to get done. Either they were going to file or we were going to file against them. We were going to have that done by early August. The only one was Barbie that didn't have it, and that one took a little bit longer. But as I said, you sort of understand the dynamics of it, and you just again, I think I've told you guys the Jerry Jones line when I was working in Dallas. His money has no emotion. Like we have to do what's right we want the players to be happy, but we need to do what's right for the organization also. And the main goal is to try and find something where everybody's comfortably uncomfortable.
Speaking of comfortable, you got a little bit of cushion. Do you find with the cap space?
Oh yeah. Cap space shouldn't be an issue this year. We'll have probably start with a little over $1.2 million or $1.3 million, and that's if we carry 23. If we don't carry 23, then that builds up.
You put yourself in a good position by getting Bortuzzo and then Gunnarsson and Bowmeister in on contracts and fit the cap, but also kept your team strength where it was on the blue line.
Yeah, as I said, and those happened a couple during the season and one right after. So that's just sort of our philosophy, that we deal with these guys as they come up and when it's comfortable for everybody. But having those guys back is certainly benefit for us.
Doug, when you rewarded these RFAs, obviously with their contracts and whatnot, do you feel comfortable that these guys are ready to make that next progression up and ready to grab more ice time like the Blay and Sanford and these guys?
Well, yeah. I mean, they were part of a team that had success last year, and they had ice time. Now it's for their job is to win there and gain more ice time. Again, if they only got the same ice time they got last year, there's still guys that were ahead of them on the pecking order. So I'm comfortable that it's going to be a very competitive camp, and the competition is maybe not as much for roster spots as for ice time coach. Okay. Thanks everybody.
Thanks.